Inmates face a harsh regime, where basic amenities are a luxury. The cells, devoid of mattresses and pillows, and the absence of common or recreation areas, reflect a philosophy of punishment and containment. Food and basic needs, controlled and limited, are a constant reminder of the loss of freedom. In the depths of El Salvador, a nation marked by violence and the legacy of a civil war, an imposing and defiant structure emerges: Nayib Bukele's mega prison. This facility, more than a simple prison, represents a radical change in the fight against gangs, a phenomenon that has shadowed the country for decades. Salvadoran President Nayib Bukele made a bold and unprecedented decision, mixing members of rival gangs in the country's prison cells. This measure, a response to the rise in homicides during the COVID-19 pandemic, broke with the practice of separating gang members to avoid conflicts. The numbers of violent deaths, which had decreased significantly since he came to power in 2019, experienced an alarming spike, prompting Bukele to act firmly. The mega prison, described as the terrorism confinement center, stands like a colossus on a site of more than 236 blocks, approximately 165.79 hectares. With 19 surveillance towers and 7 security perimeters, it is proclaimed as the largest and safest prison in Latin America. Its size, equivalent to 7 football stadiums, and its capacity to house 40,000 gang members, make it an architectural marvel and a challenge to the logic of traditional prisons. Inside this fortress, the life of the inmates is just a shadow of their previous existence. Each cell, designed to house 80 prisoners, is reduced to lines of metal bunk beds without mattresses or pillows. The inmates, deprived of any comfort, face a harsh reality. Entertainment, sports, and leisure areas are non-existent. His world is limited to 4 walls and a basin of water controlled from the outside. Without the right to visits or vis-a-vis, prisoners must pay for their stay in jail. The cost, around $170 a month, falls on them or their families, a practice that defies the norm in many countries where the taxpayer assumes these expenses. Daily life in the terrorism confinement center is rigorous and strictly controlled. Daily routines include checking cells, locks, and bars. These checks are carried out every morning and afternoon to maintain order and control within the prison. Surveillance is constant, with 24/7 monitoring to ensure that there are no irregularities. Each cell, with dimensions of 7.4 by 12 meters, is designed to house approximately 65 inmates. This figure far exceeds recommended international standards for space per prisoner, suggesting extreme overcrowding. Under these conditions, personal space is practically non-existent, and privacy becomes an unattainable luxury. A notable feature of these cells is the complete absence of artificial light. Inmates live in a state of constant darkness, with the only light coming from the grates. This lack of adequate lighting not only affects physical well-being, but also has a profound psychological impact. Sanitary facilities are limited and shared. The need to share toilets among large numbers of inmates. The roof of each is equipped with bars where guards can walk through and keep an eye on the inmates. This constant surveillance serves as an ever-present reminder of the control and supervision under which inmates live. The center houses active gang members. Mara is the term used in Central America, especially in countries such as El Salvador, Honduras, and Guatemala, to refer to a gang or criminal group. The Maras are known for their organized structure, strict codes of conduct, and often their involvement in criminal activities such as drug trafficking, extortion, kidnapping, and murder. The 2 best known and largest Maras in El Salvador are Mara Salvatrucha, MS-13, originating in Los Angeles, California, in the 1980s. This gang was formed by Salvadoran immigrants. Over time, it expanded to many other countries, especially after the deportation of members from the United States to El Salvador. MS-13 is known for its extreme violence and distinctive tattoos. Barrio 18, also known as Mara 18, this is another major gang in El Salvador, also with origins in Los Angeles. Barrio 18 has an intense and violent rivalry with MS-13, which has contributed significantly to the high levels of violence in the areas where these gangs operate. The center houses gangs such as MS-13, the 18 Revolucionarios gang, and the Serenos. All of them are considered active members of these criminal organizations. The presence of rival gangs in the same space is a distinctive aspect of this prison, which represents a challenge in terms of security and control. The jail's current population is approximately 12,000 inmates, but this number is increasing. The center's total capacity is to house up to 40,000 gang members. Prisoners have the possibility of redemption through work. Inmates have the opportunity to participate in workshops in factories, producing items for state institutions. This approach seeks to transform gang members into productive individuals, purging their debt to society and easing the tax burden on honest citizens. This prison model is very different from Nordic prisons, known for their focus on rehabilitation and near-luxury amenities for inmates. In contrast, the Salvadoran megaprison takes a heavy-handed stance, prioritizing security and containment over comfort and social reintegration. Bukele's mega-prison is not just a prison, it is a fortress designed to be unbreakable. With its advanced security system, including electrified walls and reinforced concrete, it represents an insurmountable challenge to any escape attempt. President Bukele has assured that the prison has the most advanced technology, including X-ray scanners and constant surveillance, to prevent any smuggling or illicit communication. Another distinctive aspect of this mega jail is the unprecedented collaboration between the army and the police. Bukele has mobilized 500 soldiers and 350 police officers to guarantee an immediate response to any disturbance or act of violence. This merger of security forces reflects the seriousness with which the Salvadoran government addresses the gang threat. This mega prison has generated a polarized debate both in El Salvador and internationally. While some applaud Bukele's determination in his fight against gangs, others criticize the extreme conditions and lack of focus on rehabilitation. Human rights organizations have expressed concern about the treatment of prisoners and the potential violation of fundamental rights. It is a bold experiment in criminal justice, challenging conventional norms and raising profound questions about the balance between safety, punishment, and rehabilitation. Its existence is a testament to the complexity of addressing gang violence in a country marked by decades of conflict and social challenges. The future of this institution and its impact on Salvadoran society and in the fight against gangs will be closely watched by the world. It is not just a physical structure, it is a symbol of a radical and controversial approach to the management of crime and violence. The mega prison is a clear reflection of Bukele's tough policy against gangs. This strategy, which prioritizes security and punishment over rehabilitation, resonates with a significant portion of the Salvadoran population, tired of years of violence and insecurity. However, it has also raised concerns about respect for human rights and the possibility of abuses within the prison system. The existence of a prison of this magnitude and nature also raises questions about its impact on El Salvador's judicial system. How will trials and sentences be handled in a context where prison capacity far exceeds the current prison population? This aspect is crucial to understand how the mega prison will influence the legal process and the administration of justice in the country. The international community and human rights organizations will be vigilant for any signs of abuse or inhumane treatment. Although President Bukele has declared that he does not care about his opinion that they did not lend a hand to solve the problem, that these measures are necessary and are what have brought peace and security to their streets. Bukele threatened to leave imprisoned gang members without food, in response to reports that the gangs seek revenge for the wave of arrests of gang members undertaken by his government to confront criminal violence in El Salvador. President Bukele declared, "I am going to take advantage of the opportunity to send a message to the criminals. Do that and there will be no mealtime in the prisons. Let's see how long they last. And I don't care what say the international organizations. The true impact of the mega prison will be evaluated in the coming years. It will be crucial to see if this initiative succeeds in reducing gang violence and improving security in El Salvador. The mega prison will be a key element in Nayib Bukele's legacy. His success will influence the perception of his mandate and the history of El Salvador. This project is not only a security measure, but also a symbol of a country's response to one of its most persistent and difficult challenges. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our upcoming journeys through knowledge and mystery. If you liked the video, give it a like and share it with your friends.